Hi everybody, I've had a few people ask me to do a video of my entire layout, so that's what I'm going to do this morning. This is the Milwaukee Road, Madison Division, the west end of it, in 1952. This layout is in approximately a 20 by 8 foot room-ish. It's set up for operations with Digitrax DCC throttles and operating system. Everything's got mostly Digitrax chips in it, with the exception of some other things, but I apologize in advance for everything else sitting on the layout. Normally this stuff wouldn't be sitting around during an op session, but I didn't clean up everything. And there's a bunch of Santa Fe stuff sitting on the layout that wouldn't normally be out here. So this is what the timetable looks like when we do an op session. I have two options. This is timetable A, and then we reverse it for timetable B. So that's the number of trains that we run. I use car cards and waybills mounted on the fascia like a lot of people do. This is kind of set up for operations for dummies, for lack of a better term. Each operator gets a sheet like this and it tells me exactly what to do, so it's pretty foolproof. I learned this system from a buddy of mine named Ken Borowski up in the Twin Cities. So with that, let's just take a quick tour here. This, as you look at the layout, you are always looking south. So left is going to be east. If you look to the right, it'll be to the west. So we'll start out in Madison staging, which is the larger of the two staging yards. And we make our way east. All the towns are in the correct geographic order, but the track layout in each town is not. And of course I left some towns out. First town we come to is Cross Plains. We have a cold storage building here, grain elevator, the depot of course. We have a brewery with no roof, and then the ice house with it, a coal dealer and an implement dealer over here. And as we make our way west, again, sorry for all the extra cars sitting around here. The next town we come to is Mazomanie. This was a junction on the Milwaukee Road that sent a branch off to Sauk City, which we've modeled up here. That branch goes to Sauk City. The track behind it is the main line. So there's another grain elevator. There's a lumber dealer. There'll be a oil distributor here, and there's a freight house. There's a local that runs out of Mazomanie twice per session that goes to the west, and we'll talk about that in a second. We have our first crossing of the Wisconsin River here. Apologize, some of my modules are sitting in the way. And the main comes around here to the west. The next town we have is Lone Rock. There's a feed mill, a livestock dealer, scrap yard, and then we have another branch that went up to Richland Center that had quite a bit of industry on it. There was a coal dealer and some steel manufacturing, things like that. As I said, this was set in 1952, so this is our coal and water stop for anything powered by steam trains. They have to stop here for 10 minutes and take coal and water. Continuing to go west, our next town is Boscobel. There's a co-op here, and then there is a dairy back here. Most of the industries on my layout are named for friends of mine who are no longer with us, but that's kind of a neat tribute. There's another grain elevator and then a tool and die shop here. Continuing west, Woodman. It's just a grain elevator, and it's a one-way switch, so it's kind of makes life interesting for people that are going eastbound. They have to shove their train forward to the next station to do a runaround. Here's another crossing in the Wisconsin River. There'll be a bridge here. The line actually crossed the river 3 times. I only model it twice here. Last town on the layout is Wazeeka. There is a small livestock yard here. As you can see, my scenery is not anywhere close to being done, but this is the start of it over here. And then the the west end of the layout is Prairie du Chien staging. I'm going to rip all this out and redo it so I can get some more capacity here. The main line around to the back, there's continuous run this bridge drops down during operating sessions so that you can walk into the layout. There's no duck unders during op sessions. So with that, again, that's the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul, and Pacific Madison Division, the West End, modeled in N scale in 1952. Hope we enjoyed it. Thanks.